Oh, here are the crooks. You must save me from this subject.
Now
You sent me to jail in the first place.
you have said this in the presence of so many witnesses, I can now sue you. Let me.
It's been a great pleasure and a lot of fun working on this book. And for me, what makes it special is that obviously I have a perspective on Mr. Mandela. But here I was working with 60 different views. And you realize then so graphically that this is a person with so many facets to him, and that there is no end to the process of the angles and experiences from which people to see him.
Well, a number of my publishing colleagues and I felt that there was an opportunity to produce a book that was a complement to Long Walk to Freedom, Nelson Mandela's autobiography. Mandela is such a self-effacing person, such a modest person, that there were parts of his personality and character that weren't captured fully in Long Walk to Freedom. And so we set about creating a large format book that would be a portrait of his life, made up of interviews with Mandela's close friends and comrades, people he was in prison with, and many of the leading individuals he's been involved with since his release.
You know what he used to do in jail? He used to bribe wardens to do things for us prisoners.
For this book, we felt it was going to be necessary to bring in some of Mandela's closest comrades, and with the help of Mandela himself, we were able to persuade Ahmed Kathrada and Mac Maharaj, two men who spent a substantial amount of time with Mandela in prison. Kathrada, 26 years, and Maharaj, 12 years on Robben Island. And they helped him write Long Walk to Freedom while they were in prison, and in fact Mac Maharaj smuggled the manuscript out of Robben Island to London so that it could be published in the first instance. And so they were perfectly positioned to help us in many ways, both in terms of opening the door for interviews with key people, but also in terms of authenticating the content to ensure that we absolutely got our facts right.
Now, we have to present a copy to you of this book. I suppose you recognize...
something hidden, concealed in it, in the compartment.
You do recognize this person? You recognize him, don't you?
That looks good, man. This is a check. That's important.
Yeah.
So
what made this book very special was that it was not necessarily only the big names. So you have a chance to see Mandela from the angles and perspectives of different individuals and different experiences. And sometimes the same experiences are perceived differently by the different interviewees. Secondly, the photographs, some of them are very unique. And thirdly, I think that where in the past one would get angry with the factual inaccuracies of our history, to here have a chance to use our memory and our interest in the subject matter to make sure that the facts are accurate.
This was your girlfriend.
I didn't ask you for that.
Now, I want to show you something
Yes.
about this book before you sign, so that you understand what you are signing. Right? This book has been written in a very different way from all other books about you. More than 60 people were interviewed around the world. Right?
Yes.
Some of your friends and some of those who are not so much your friends. Right? Because the publishers, Jeff and Ruth, wanted a view of you, not just from sycophants like Kathy and myself. So this book is made up of that.
I see.
But secondly, it has photographs that have previously never been seen.
Is that so?
One of them I want to show you here is a photograph that I don't know if you will recognize.
Well, these I recognize.
The dog or the person? Do you recognize the dog or the person?
Oh, I see. I recognize both.
Okay. As a person, he has reached such an iconic status in the world that sometimes when I hear people, I don't know whether we are talking about the same man. The 20th century bequeathed to us a world in which democracy became the norm, but at the same time bequeathed to us a world in which the reputation and the image of politics became tainted. And I think there's been a separation between political practice and morality, and political practice and a sense of fairness. So I think if you look at the different age groups, when 40,000 Canadian young people go to receive Mandela, it's because they see in him the possibility of the coming a reconnection between fairness and politics, which is a necessary part of society.
The South Africa and the world was hungry for a leader. Gandhi was dead, Martin Luther King was dead, and I think that all over there was a search for a leader, and Mandela came at the right time with the right background.
Through the process of a book like this, you become very humble when you realize how many views there are of this man, and how each of the views have some substance to them, because obviously people think more, and when they meet Mr. Mandela and they leave him feeling so warm, beyond the warmth they have to ask the question, what makes me feel that way about this man?
He's widely viewed as one of the great individuals of the 20th century, and this book hopefully will provide an intimate portrait of the man. It's not completely sycophantic, frankly. There are plenty of his friends who had interesting insights to offer, but it's a celebration of his life too. Difficult to put a book together like this that isn't a celebration. He's been such a great man. His life has been extraordinary in a number of ways, and it's reflected in this book by his friends and family and colleagues.
Lo mthwalo ungaphi